you're negotiating a contract for your position, you know, at some point there's going to be where you part ways. How do you look at structuring that in the sense of parting of ways is not amicable? Would you recommend a binding arbitration? What is a way that would protect the outgoing CEO, or litigation if you think that you're ultimately going to have to resolve the severance package through litigation? What sort of costs or expense would the outgoing CEO sort of keep in mind, or maybe a factor into the contract?
I'll give you my point and then ask my partner Jeff Altman for his view, because I have never dealt with any litigation involving a severance plan. It has always been negotiated. I have had a couple of cases where we've used mediation. I personally don't like arbitration. Arbitration can be just as expensive and take just as long. In fact, it can be more expensive than litigation because you've got to pay the arbitrator, and they have high daily fees usually. But a mediator, there are people that I have used who are sort of the HR folks who will come in and do a mediation between, say, the board or the president, whatever, and the CEO in terms of working out both prior to a termination sort of performance issues, almost like can we agree on what these will be, or negotiating the severance package. But normally what happens is the outgoing employee gets an attorney, the association has an attorney, and it's just a matter of numbers. And at a certain point, it is less expensive to settle than to litigate. And if you have them making sort of claims like for discrimination or something, and then you report it to your insurance carrier, they will get insurance counsel involved and they'll want to settle. Jeff, do you have any contrary experiences?
I would just add that 80 or 90% of all claims against nonprofits are employment related. So when you're talking about the higher level CEO where you might want to litigate it, I normally recommend that you have a termination clause in it, which is termination for cause is very narrow, because where you get into the expensive litigation is whether the board has cause to terminate the CEO or not, and it's just not worth spending the time fighting about it. So have a narrow termination for cause, a person's arrested or does something to disgrace the profession, but otherwise a clear severance provision kicks in. And if you're it's like a no-fault divorce. If you don't like each other, you're just going to get 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is. It's cheaper than fighting about it because it draws up your insurance rates. It causes litigation costs on both sides, and you inevitably end up settling anyway.
Right. And also,
you don't like to hear that.
But yeah, but that's, Jeff speaks the truth, that it's also if a protracted dispute with a current or now former executive takes a tremendous toll on the board itself and on the staff. It can, even if you're a C3, it can lead over to some of the major donors or financial supporters that you have. It just distracts everyone, and it can really take an organization off track for like up to a year before things get back to normal. Any other questions for our panel?